13 years ago, the Zero Point ripped away at Sky, splitting her atoms across countless reality. It wasn't painful, though, mainly because it only took a single millisecond. All seemed hopeless until Ollie jumped in. Without thinking, Ollie expanded her mouth as wide as she could and inhaled the entire Zero Point. Midas, Jones, and Hope, which, yeah, by the way, I give Midas a Pinterest icon because I feel like he deserves it, looked down at her in shock. Suddenly, she rifted across infinite realities as the Zero Point began to destabilize. She had accidentally bitten it. As she rifted, she tried to spit the Zero Point out, but it instead sucked everything around it in, including Sky's atoms. Everything it sucked in hid parts of the Zero Point, causing them to gain countless different effects and random changes. One of the, I obviously don't know that number, but like 7 billion, that's the actual accurate number, atoms that belong to Sky hit the same part of the Zero Point that reverted Ezekiel back in Season 1. This caused it to go back in time by bringing all of the atoms and her soul that had just been sent to the final reality back to as they were. Still, she was in Ollie's mouth with the Zero Point actively destabilizing. Ollie opened her mouth one last time and threw up the Zero Point along with everything else. The Zero Point exploded, sending shards across 50 different realities, one of which being the OG Total Drama reality, so that's how that got there. Ollie looked around the wreckage until she heard a blood-curdling scream from under some rubble. She sucked the rubble up to reveal Sky uncontrollably rifting her body in and out in a constant state of agony. Ollie contorted her body, which is something her species is able to do, to a conductor and placed herself on Sky's head, taking in most of the energy. After Sky calmed down, she discovered that she had acquired some of the abilities of the Zero Point due to the energy being in her system. She and Ollie then realized they were stranded on an abandoned planet in a random reality. Even though dozens of search parties were sent out by Hope and Jones, they never found her. 5 years passed, now Sky is 9, and Sky and Ollie had mastered their powers, or were mastering their powers until they eventually learned how to travel across realities. During this time, Sky's body survived off the energy of the Zero Point, so she didn't really need to eat, drink, or any of that. She still doesn't eat that, but she still does it just because she wants to eat, because it tastes good. So, eventually they made their way back to Reality Zero, where Sky reunited with her parents. Jones was just happy to see his daughter again, but Hope seemed sad. Sky asked if she was okay, causing Hope to break down in tears, believing she was at fault by shooting Ollie and causing the Zero Point explosion. She's not wrong, by the way. This is why Hope is so overprotective. And we've come to our actual finale of the show. So, guys, y'all aren't seeing this on Wednesday. I, in my post, Holy Voice Crack, said that it would come out on Wednesday. I put way too much effort into this episode and way too much into this episode for it to come out on Wednesday. Because it is 9:09 on Wednesday when I'm recording this. If I were to lock in and do the rest of it tonight, which I'm probably going to do almost all of it tonight, and then some tomorrow, it literally would already be like 1 or 2 in the morning before I'm done. Because this is such a grand finale, and I'm really, really proud of it. But yeah, let's get into it. So you might be wondering what you're looking at on your screen right now. Well, this is actually the master plan. This is the plan we've been building up to this whole time, ever since they got their last few villains on the villains team. So Zomboss, along with Sloan and Vader, those are the 3 masterminds, have finally completed their master plan. Stage 1 through 4 have already been completed in this 10 steps plan, but I'm still going to go through them. Stage 1 was completed on accident when the Mimic and Magicka came. They came with a Rift Gun, which gave them access to 0 point energy. Also, Zomboss does have a way of traveling realities that he built while he was on the zombie reality, the PvZ reality. but that's obsolete now that they have the Rift Gun. So stage 2 and 3 are kind of intertwined, so I'll kind of go through them at the same time. It was send zombies to random realities, growing their zombie army, and gather cannon fodder for a distraction. Both of these, along with Sasha's Toad army, are going to be the main frontliners that will go ahead and just attack everywhere. So when I say cannon fodder, I don't actually mean because they're weak. I mean, we got Harley Quinn, Elmo, Daisy, Magica, Bowser, Azula, Rouge, Sonar, Venom, and Toga. And of those, I mean, like, Azula is not weak. Toga is not weak. We know this. But they're not one of the specialists or one of the most powerful. That's basically what Zomboss's thinking is on that. So then, step 4, which has been completed, was to gain control of the Calamity Box and its 3 stones. Now, that obviously happened when they manipulated Sasha into joining them. Now, they could have just killed Sasha and taken it, but they want to have Sasha so that they have someone who can actually use the stone's power, and maybe they can force her to use the power of all 3 stones, which Andres knows about, which will, if you do that, unless you're like one of the most powerful beings in the universe, it'll kill you just by using the power of all 3 stones at the same time, but you'll become insanely powerful. So yeah, now we have stage 5. So these next 2 steps are just stuff that's going to be the specialists on the island. So one of them is Andreas will use the box to control the castle's huge laser while Sasha defends them. That laser on the top of the castle, but guys, if you haven't seen the show, it's a very big threat. Speaking of big threats, step 6, use Death and Malik to capture the biggest threats and trap them in the final reality. They just throw them in there because unless they throw in somebody with a Rift Gun, which is literally just Chef and Hope, which they don't plan on doing, then those people just kind of get stuck there. So that's kind of who they want to get rid of, like the characters that are, or I guess they'd say the people that are just completely broken, like some of the Avengers and DC characters and My Hero Academia characters, stuff like that. So yeah, then we have step 7. The 7 smartest villains will harness a fraction of the 0 points energy using the old suits of the 7. The 7, I think I've already explained this, are people that in this show that I'm making, they used to be people who fought the IO, but they lost and they're dead, and now the IO has access to their suits. They did lose 2 helmets, though, which are the 2 helmets that were used in last episode for the finale. But they still have access to all the suits and their helmets outside of that, which honestly is fine because the 7 smartest people, here I can show you this, the 7 smartest people are Sloane, Zomboss, Vader, as well as Afton the Mimic, because he can mimic Afton, Sin, and Wanda. And of those, Sin wouldn't really fit in the helmet, and neither would Afton. So it works for them. So yeah, they will harness it, and a group of heroes. Yeah, okay, that just explains what I just said. Step 8, they use this power to destroy the heroes and zombify them, making them part of their army, right? So if y'all have seen like Marvel Zombies, for example, if y'all have seen any kind of like Plants for Zombies as well, like when you get zombified by this, you're keeping your abilities and some of your intelligence. So it could be a really big problem if somebody like Superman gets zombified, yeah? So then they, once they destroy the heroes, step 9 is they travel the multiverse, conquering every universe they find until eventually establishing rule over the entire multiverse. And then step 10 is kind of a reward. So whoever survives out of the core villains team will become a ruler of their very own section of the multiverse. So who's considered a member of the core villains team? Well, it's not any of the random zombies, and it's not any of the Toads. It's basically everyone you can see on screen right now, but nobody else. So yeah, this is the grand master plan that they've been building up to. And now it's time to see if it'll work. So now we've come to what could possibly be one of my favorite slides I've written so far. I absolutely love this one. Y'all will like it too. Let's just get into it. So this is war. The heroes arrive at the castle only expecting the Toad Army and Sasha, but they were also met with the entire villain's team as well as hordes and hordes of zombies. The city quickly fell into chaos as war broke out. While the heroes gained the upper hand due to their strongest members, they one by one began to disappear as Malik and Death trapped them in the final reality. This included people such as Thor, Hulk, All Might, Superman, and The Flash, and much, much more. However, it also included Jinwoo, Steve, who is very, very powerful, the Collector, and Peter. So all four of them are stuck in the final reality right now and will not be able to help. Well, as this happens, Andreas fires his cannon tons of times, and it goes through dozens of heroes, disintegrating them instantly. On the ground, Guinevere spots Daisy strangling Peach, which, by the way, Daisy, now that she's been with the villain, she's like, fuck it. If I'm going villain mode, I'm going freaking villain mode. Also, she has to act like that so that her villain's team doesn't think that she's betraying them. Well, enraged, because Guinevere and Daisy hate each other, she rushed over to stop her, but was intercepted by Azula's lightning. So now she's busy fighting Azula. During that chaos, we have yet another terrible, disgusting thing. While Azuku and Monica try to fight off a deranged Toga, as she tries to show them how much she loves them by giving them the mutilated body of Sokka. Yeah, the character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, not too fun there. Then, in the ruins of the Grand Hotel, which is in the same city, it's Newtopia City, where the big castle's in the middle, but there's other places around. The Grand Hotel is one of them. In the ruins of it, Kissy and Green Shadow fought the Bats, who have found that they have a lot of chemistry fighting with each other. So, both of them do. So, as it looks like the Bats are about to win, Applejack comes in, the person who really didn't like Green Shadow, or not Green Shadow, really didn't like Kissy, but has grown to love her, or like her. Well, she, as well as the rest of the Equestria girls, come in, and blech, they defeat these two with the literal manifestation of the power of friendship. So, literal power of friendship. Now, sadly, there are simply too many characters and too many fights breaking out to go over each of every single one, but many other battles did break out, such as Magica and Lena's reunion. Well, thankfully, Six put aside her differences with Lena and helped her defeat her aunt once again. Now, during all the chaos, the heroes came up with a small task force consisting of Marcy, Anne, Peely, Hope, Jones, Midas, Tails, Chris, and Chef. Now, these are the people that they chose because Marcy and Anne have a personal relationship and can hopefully flip Sasha onto their side. And then the 4 Fortnite characters, as well as Chris and Chef, all know a lot about what's going on. Same with Tails, but he's also just for his brains. They kind of wanted a more powerful person, but they're going to have to rely on Midas and Chef to do most of the work, fighting their way up the castle. Which, as they do, they make it eventually to the throne room, where the Calamity Box sat seemingly defenseless. Everyone was too smart to fall for the trap, though. I mean, you just look at all these people, right? Well, everyone except for Anne, who ran up to it and tried to snatch it before being slammed into the wall by Andreas. He pulled out his flaming sword and charged the team. They all got into battle stances and expected him to stop and fight, but instead, he ran straight into them and sent them all crashing down the side of the castle. All except Marcy, who was pulled away last second. So let me just quickly say, literally everyone was just sent stumbling down the mountain, including Andreas, except Marcy and Anne, as Marcy was pulled out of the way by Sasha. So now we have the Calamity Girls together. She thanked Sasha before realizing who it was. Marcy drew her crossbow and backed away slowly as Anne grabbed her sword and stumbled over to them. Guys, we don't have to do this. We're friends, remember? Sasha asked, lowering her swords. She dual wields swords. It's pretty cool. Anne didn't listen, but Marcy replied, "But what? Ezekiel!" Behind Sasha sat the bloody unconscious bodies of Ezekiel, Toph, and Tristan. Oh yeah, these three tried to steal the box with her rock powers a minute ago, but they've been dealt with. Anne charged at her, but as Sasha lifted her swords, an arrow pierced her neck. Sasha dropped as Marcy retracted her arrow before fainting. Now alone, Anne ran over to the box and grabbed it. Just as she was about to claim the box's power, people in 7 suits suddenly rifted in around her. One of the masks opened to reveal Zomboss. I'll be taking that. Things aren't looking too good for the heroes as we get to the 7. Wanda tossed Anne aside and grabbed the music box before walking over to Sasha. She was about to zombie fire, since she's dead, when a different red magic appeared. Because Sasha had only fueled her gem halfway a few episodes back, she still had access to some of its power. Her neck regenerated and she awoke pissed. "Could you not have been a little quicker?" she asked, frustrated. "You're just an asset, Sash. Remember that," Sen replied. "Hey, only my friends can call me Sash, asshole." "Friends? You mean the girl who tried to steal your box? Or the one who sent an arrow through your neck?" Sasha looked down at Anne and Marcy, then at Toph, Zeke, and Tristan. "You know what? Fuck you." Sasha used her powers to snatch the music box and open it before anyone could react. Just as her powers wore off, she transported herself back to Earth. After walking around for a bit, she came across a TV that was playing the news. She read the headline, "Girl with superpowers spotted terrorizing town in Toronto, Canada." So, yeah, back in Amphibia, the 7 stood there for a bit before someone broke the silence. "So, we don't have the box anymore," Sloane said awkwardly. "It's fine. Anne and Marcy are here, so the prophecy still can't happen." Zomboss replied, before feeling a grip on his leg. It was Anne. "You won't win this," she said, slowly drifting off. "Stupid child. We already have." Zomboss laughed as the 7 made their way down the castle. The heroes were already in a bad spot, but now there was no hope. Within minutes, every hero was either dead, zombified, trapped in the final reality, or captured. So, what we have here is all the remaining heroes and villains. Everyone else is either dead, or is not going to be in the fight for pretty much the rest of the time. So, like, for example, the Collector, Steve, Peter, and Jin Woo are all trapped in the final reality, along with other heroes. Other hero that you don't see on screen, though, outside of Sky, Lauren, and Patrice, is dead or zombified. As well as Marcy, Anne, Ezekiel, Toph, and Tristan. Those 5 are all incapacitated at the top of the castle, but obviously they won't be able to help. So yeah, a lot of the heroes are gone. But for the villains, they have lost 3 people. Those are Sonar, Rouge, and Magica, so nothing crazy. None of the 7 have been killed, but you know, baby steps, right? Baby steps. So, we pick back up where we left off. "Oh, it feels good to win. Don't y'all agree?" The villains laughed maniacally. "You know, it reminds me back when I was still young." "Ugh, can we skip the grand speech? I know I'm gonna die, but I don't want to be bored to death first," Chris smirked. "Ah, Chris. You know, this is all your fault, right? If you weren't... this is Zomboss talking, by the way. "If it weren't for you getting in the way, I would have just been a scientist. But I thank you for handing me the keys to the whole multiverse." You and your disgusting daughter. You keep her out of your rotten mouth, Chris yelled. Oh, yeah? What are you gonna do about it? Exactly. I would love to talk some more, but it's very busy. It's a very busy job being the future ruler of the multiverse. Zambos raised his fist before hearing a slight crackle behind him, followed by a bright light. Now this is the perfect place to get my anger out. We pick up back with Sasha and Sky. After defeating the heroes in the third temple, Sasha ordered the Toads to loot them and take everything that could be useful info. One of these things was Hope's diary. She always had it on her because she could only trust herself not to lose it. Looking for some entertainment one night, Sasha read through it. Hey, Marcy's was a fun read. She learned a ton about different realities and adventures, but she also read over 100 pages about Hope's guilt and depression after what happened to Sky. Eventually, she got to pages about Sky's return and her powers. Clipped inside was a photo of Sky. The photo matched the girl on TV. Sasha knew what she had to do. Using her new power, she flew all the way from California to Toronto before collapsing. Instead of giving up, though, she forced herself and made her way to Sky. Hey, nerd! Sky ignored her and continued her fit of rage. Sasha tried her new powers, but was too tired. Thinking quickly, Sasha said, Hope and Jones are gonna die if you don't get over yourself. Sky suddenly stopped and rifted right in front of Sasha. Tell me everything now. Sasha explained the situation and handed Sky the box. Here, take these stones. I can't be trusted with them. Sky, being Sky, is like, okay, and pops them out of the chest before swallowing them. Sasha stands there in complete disbelief. Suddenly, Sky glows white as the Calamity Stone's powers merge with the 0 Point. Now that's a power-up, Sky yells, raising her hands in the air. One of her 2 swords and her AR fly down into her hands. Come on, girl, let's kick some ass. Can't disagree with that. Sky opens a portal with her sword and they both set through. An epic battle commences as Sky battles all 7 without breaking a sweat. Hope is initially concerned, but then just watches in awe as Sky effortlessly rips them to pieces. Peely is able to piece together where the OP heroes have been sent, and using his research and uses Hope's Rift Gun, he brings them all back. So the Collector, as well as Steve, Peter, and Jinwoo are all back in the fight, and with Jinwoo's powers especially, he's been claiming the zombies onto his side, as well as some other dead people, including some of the dead heroes he's claimed onto his side by turning them into his summons. So yeah, that all goes on, and a bunch more cool fights break out that I don't have time to go through all of them, but we can go through a few of them. Seeing that she's probably going to be fine without him, Daisy teams up with Guinevere to save Agatha from Malik. So, yeah, Daisy has officially flipped. They worked together to defeat him, with Agatha delivering the final blow. There we go, Bryson. That's how you use your English. Yeah, Agatha didn't have too big a part in the season, but I thought it would still be good for those 3 especially to be the ones that team up on him. So, then, as the villains slowly fall, Toga was spared by Izuku. Izuku has a heart of gold, but you know who doesn't? Monica. Only for Monica to glitch behind her and snap her neck. Izuku's like, what the hell? But, I mean, after what happened with Sokka and all that, I think it's pretty much justified. Eventually, with one last big blast, I kind of just left Sasha on here, but she's also fighting. But with Sky, she'd be the main event of this battle and the rest of the 7. But with one last big blast, Sky defeats the 7, and the heroes win. Chris walks over to the beheaded but still alive Zomboss and spits on him. As the Zomboss begs, he spits on him and caves his head in with his foot. So now we have arrived at the aftermath. After gathering their bearings, the remaining heroes got to work using 1-up mushrooms and reboot cards to revive the fallen. Now, one quick thing I want to explain. There is a reboot van on the island that we currently play the game show, the one with 3 mountains, the one in Reality 37. Yes? Well, every single person, every single living creature gets a reboot card, but only characters from Reality Zero, or people from Reality Zero, like actually from there, are able to see reboot cards and able to claim them, like how Peely got chefs last time. Also, when it comes to one-up mushrooms can handle everything except for extreme certain types of sicknesses, like what happened with Lena earlier in the season, and also stuff where people are just absolutely obliterated. Like, for example, the people who got disintegrated by Andreas's laser. They can't be one-up mushrooms, so instead they use reboot cards for them. But after everyone was back alive, they all had a huge celebration. During this, Anne and Marcy sat with Ezekiel, Toph, Tristan, Luz, Star, Lena, Kissy, Green Shadow, and Applejack. Basically, the entire Mega Friendship Alliance except the trees. So, y'all are about to learn a lot about the MFA. MFA stands for Mega Friendship Alliance. And this is going to be a big thing going into later seasons, but not actually in the game show. At least not yet. So, yeah, I've kind of given them their own tier. So, Sasha sat on some rubble alone before eventually building up the courage to apologize. So she walks over to the Mega Friendship Alliance table. They're all, by the way, kind of just in the right outside the ruins of the castle in Utopia City and all that, just kind of all chilling. So she comes up and she says, "Hey, Anne, Marcy." Well, without saying anything, they both whipped around and drew their weapons. Sasha's eyes filled with tears. I'm so sorry. She sobbed, falling to her knees. Anne was having none of it. "Get out of here before I make you go to hell," she said with her sword at her throat. "Wait! She's chill." Sky rifted over and explained. "She's changed. If it weren't for her, we'd all be dead right now." "Really?" Anne asked. "Yes," Marcy squealed as she hugged a sobbing Sasha. "Ugh, fine. Come here, you big softy." Anne smiled as she joined in. All three of them have been friends for life, so I think that even after what's happened, crazier things have happened just in the past 24 hours, so I think they'd be willing to forgive. After they were done, Sky pulled Sasha aside. So, yeah, then they leave all of the rest of the Mega Friendship Alliance there. So, hey, Sasha, I got an idea. By the way, Sky and Sasha are friends now, so she's allowed to call her Sash. What? Sky explained how most of the villains will survive this. Either because they're AI programming, like the Mimic or Sin, or because they're Grim Reapers, like Death and Malik, who are straight up immortal. The same can be said for both zombies, and, well, Afton does always come back. However, I have a plan. Sky grabbed Sasha and rifted them both to Sky's room in Reality Zero. "Look at these." Sky opened her closet to reveal exactly 20 cross necklaces, each of them which glowing yellow. So these cross necklaces, y'all aren't going to know where they're from or what they're about for a long time, but just know they are very, very, very important to, honestly, to the finale of this series, like the full series. So, where did you get these? Sasha asked. Long story. Sky grabbed them, and they returned back to Amphibia to help, with the help of Daisy, who everyone knows has now been fully redeemed, especially after she made up with Guinevere. She plans on going and eventually seeing Ash and 2D, and apologizing to them, because Ash, 2D, as well as like maybe 6 other characters weren't a part of this, but pretty much everyone was. I just didn't want them to be, because it would complicate things even more. So they found the bodies of each villain, gave them a one-up mushroom, and immediately put the cross necklace on them. The necklaces were unbreakable as well as unremovable, except for the person that actually put it on. So like the person that has it on can't take it off. and would prevent the villains from actually doing anything evil. Trust me, they still want to, though. And they still can be malicious. They just, like, they can't kill somebody. They can't do most crimes. But they can still, like, lie. Sky then trapped them in an energy cage using the her 0 point powers, where the heroes threw cake at them, just humiliating them further. After the party was over, most of the people had gone home, so everyone's just vibing, and Ezekiel suddenly asks Sky, "Wait, where's my sister and my girlfriend?" And we have arrived at our final slide of the video. I've loved this video, and I really hope y'all have too. But we end it with Lauren and Patrice. Oh shit! Sky had completely forgotten she stranded Patrice and Lauren on Venture Island. She rifted back to the reality and searched around until finding them both asleep in a makeshift treehouse in the woods of Lone Lodge. They had both been there for like 5 days in their timeline. Or in that time, because time works differently depending on the universe, as I've said before. She climbed the tree and woke them up. About damn time, Lauren rolled her eyes. Actually, Lauren, I wanted to apologize. You too, Patrice. After they made up, Sky explained the entire situation. And then I remembered you guys were here. Lauren and Patrice sat in silence with their mouths wide open. Yeah, it's a lot. Here, let's get y'all over there. Sky rifts them back to Amphibia, where the only people left are Sky, Patrice, and Lauren, the entire Mega Friendship Alliance, so Anne, Marcy, Ezekiel, Green Shadow, Luz, Toph, Star, Lena, Tristan, and Daisy, just Tristan. Hope, Jones, Peely, Midas, Chris, and Chef are all there, and then the villains are still trapped in the energy cage. So after they rift, Ezekiel runs up and kisses Patrice, while Lauren runs over to tell Chris and Chef all about what happened throughout the season, while they update her on more of what happened while Sky was still in the game and they were doing their whole stuff with the heroes and all that. So while that's going on, Green Shadow then comes up and surprises Patrice by telling her that after they clear their world, they will be going on a multiversal road trip with the rest of the Mega Friendship Alliance. So, if I bring them all up, this is the entire Mega Friendship Alliance. And before the MFA leave, though, Sasha, who had just been accepted as a member of the Mega Friendship Alliance, tells Anne and Marcy that she thinks she needs some time to become a better person and decides it's best if she doesn't go. She doesn't want to hurt Anne and Marcy anymore. They hug goodbye as the MFA leave using their one provided rift guns. So, as of now, there are only 3 rift guns that are working, although they're going to have Sky make more. One of them has just been given to the MFA, but the other 2 are Hope's, which is still under the control of Hope and Jones and Peely, and then Chef's, which we're about to talk about, and then the one that was just provided to them is the one that the villains had, that the Mimic had. So that one is what they're going to be using. Now, another thing I do want to say is Midas. You would expect him to have one, but he doesn't, as he's too untrustworthy for them to give him a rift gun, at least as of right now. So we go back to, let me move the MFA off because they are gone. So we go back to Lauren, Chris, and Chef. And Chris and Chef also tell Lauren that they're going to go on a bro trip of their own and decompress for a little bit. They leave her with Chef's rift gun and go back to the OG Total Drama reality. Also, I want to say, actually, let me say 2 things about Ezekiel. Let me bring him up here. This was probably announced with, Ezekiel already knew this. It was told to Ezekiel while Sky was fetching Lauren. So he obviously knows this whole thing's going on, and they hug goodbye and had their father-son moment, uncle-son moment, uncle-nephew moment already. But the other thing is what I find really funny. Ezekiel has gone from a sexist idiot to a dude who's about to go on a road trip with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 girls, 1 Tristan, and he's the only guy. So Ezekiel's kind of a player now, and let's say he definitely doesn't disrespect women anymore. Anyways, yeah, so Chris and Chef both leave to the original Total Drama reality, but they don't have a rift gun anymore. They entrust Lauren with it. So now they'll have the one that's in control by the Fortnite characters, the one that Lauren has, the one and the one that the MFA has. So, yeah. Then Sky watches them all having a great time and all these big moments happening before Jones comes behind her and gives her a huge hug. You were awesome out there, honey. Peely nods in agreement. I don't really know how Peely nods, but you know. Hell, even I'm impressed, Midas adds. I really need to do more with Midas. I love Midas. When it's her turn, Hope hugs Sky so hard she can barely breathe. So, Mom, you're choking me. Hope lets go. I'm sorry, it's just, I'm sorry for ever not trusting you, and I'm sorry for being overprotective. I'm so proud of you. Hearing this, Sky's eyes fill with tears as they hug each other once more. So, it turns out that Sky did not need to win Total Drama Multiverse to gain her mother's love. Well, not love, but her mother's trust, I should say. Not to ruin the moment, but are y'all going to be needing these villains? Lauren asked with a sneaky grin. Not really, Peely replied. I think I've just found my cast then. Can I join? Sasha asked. What better way to better myself than to crush some evil maniacs? Sure, why not? Actually, me too, Daisy started. I want to play the right way this time and get some sweet, sweet revenge, she glared at Malik. Hell yeah! Peely smacked his KSI-sized forehead. Oh no. So yeah, there's a big surprise that actually probably isn't that big of a surprise. I feel like a few of you have probably been able to put that together. But the villains will be the cast of next season. Lauren will still be the host. Everybody else that hasn't been talked about in this final slide is just not going to be that big a player. But Chris and Chef are in the OG Total Drama reality, to recap. The MFA are going to be going through all kinds of different realities, just vibing. But right now, they're curing their world. The Fortnite cast is going to go rebuild in Reality Zero, the reality hangar, and continue their search for more Zero shards and protecting the Fortnite island. Now with Sky there, and the villains have now been our cast, as well as Daisy and Sasha, who are still villains, but they're redeemed villains. And all that to say, this is our full cast that you're looking at, except for 3 people. That's right, there's going to be 24 people. 24 people in this cast. It's going to be crazy. And those 3 people, let's just say that if you like Total Drama and Disventure Camp, you'll like those 3 people. But I'm not going to say who they are, because I instead want you to watch the next video that will be coming out about an hour after this premieres, which will be the ranking video of how I think I did with each of the people that didn't just compete in this season, but that appeared in this season, how well I think I adapted them, and how well I think their stories turned out. Everyone from the first boots like Goofy and Jack, all the way to characters like Sky and Patrice. And at the end, instead of revealing the logo like I did last time, I will be revealing those 3 cast members. Trust me, you're gonna love them. So I really hope y'all enjoyed. I already said this last time, but I thank you so much for watching this full 2nd season. And here's to 3 more seasons of Total Drama Multiverse.